Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Isabella and I am the owner of Reiki by Isabella, and I'm also an intuitive empath and Reiki master and teacher. Welcome to all of my new viewers and all of my viewers that have been watching my videos. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. It's much appreciated. Thank you. My purpose here is to spread awareness to the collective. And what I'm finding and being guided to do is to share my experiences, especially the experiences as of late, because it goes hand in hand with so many other people who are going through similar situations. As a healer and light worker, I feel like I am challenged even more. Receiving downloads and information that I'm supposed to help share with the collective. But as of late, I've been posting videos and also speaking on my podcast, Reiki by Isabella from Anchor. You can also find it on Spotify, where I talk about these experiences, because I'm getting so many people who are contacting me, clients that are coming to me, who are all going through this major shift and change in their lives, and it's scaring the hell out of them. Most of them are thinking that they're losing their minds. And although I've gone through it, and I've been going through it for a period of time, I understand what is going on and why it's happening. So I'm here to help you understand why it's happening, and know that you're not alone. And we're all going through some kind of shift or change in our lives. The test, or I should say the challenge, is whether or not we allow ourselves to let those changes happen. A lot of people won't. So what they will do is stay stuck in a repetitive cycle, repeating the same story over and over and over, the same situation over and over and over, attracting the same type of people into our lives over and over and over. That is what we call a repetitive cycle. And at some point, that cycle needs to come to an end. It needs to be completed. Because if we don't make those changes, we're really stopping ourselves from growing and moving forward, and we will feel stuck. And before you know it, years and years have just gone by. And it's like, what the heck just happened? So in some cases, and with some people, what'll happen is we may go through what we call a tower moment, or a dark night of the soul. And tower moment is very much connected to what they teach and show in tarot. And what it is a building that's falling apart. It could be on fire, it could be people falling out of it. So it's symbolic, or meaning that the foundation that we have built is no longer serving us. So when I say that, I mean, again, as I mentioned, when we go through a repetitive cycle of repeating the same stuff over and over and over, and never allowing ourselves to change or grow, the tower moment, the universe, will come in and shake our world up. They shake our world up, and that's what that tower moment represents. So the universe is trying to tell us, okay, now we need to end this cycle that you keep repeating, because it is keeping you stuck. And our entire purpose here is to grow. It's for soul evolution. It's to go through experiences and learn lessons, hard and even the hard lessons and the good lessons. They're all lessons. They're supposed to put us on our path, help us to move forward, for our soul to evolve to the next life. You know, we go from cycle to cycle to cycle, but we have to complete one cycle before we can go to the next cycle. So this has been going on for a few months now. I've been going through it as well. Been through a lot of darkness through it. Clearing of a lot of my own personal stuff from my past that creeped up. And again, as I said earlier, as a light worker, we're challenged even more to clear things that are holding us back, because our purpose is to spread light, to share, to spread awareness, to help others understand what is going on. But also in my case, because I'm also an intuitive empath, a lot of the stuff that has been coming up for me is not even my stuff. I am so connected to the collective and the things that they're going through that sometimes I may get hit harder, in addition to my own purging and my own releasing, feeling other people's stuff as they go through it as well, especially close connections, people who are close to us, who are going through it. I can feel a lot of their stuff that's going on. So what I wanted to do was explain it a little bit more in detail, and also to mention that yesterday was the 999 opening of a portal, and that portal is the beginning again of releasing an old way of being and doing. And it starts on the 9th month, 9th day, and takes approximately 9 days for us to go through this shift, this change. So, which can add on more now to this, these tower moments that so many people are finding themselves in. So the 999 portal is the beginning of now releasing toxic people from our life to transform our life. Toxic people, toxic situations, old patterns, behaviors, addictions, so that we can receive our blessings and we can begin our transformation into a new life. So that energy is really intense at this time. Not to mention that we also have a full moon in Pisces on the 14th. So when I tell you the energies are serious, they are serious, they are heavy, and so many people are really feeling like they're losing their minds. But you're not losing your mind. You're just going through a cycle. This is the timeline for us to start changing these repeated cycles so that we can shed that old way and move into the new way. So some of the tower moments are triggered by certain situations in our lives, especially situations that really are keeping us stuck. So let's say you lost a job and that just crushed you, which it would. Normally you lost a job and we start to fear, oh no, what do we do now? We have to pay our bills. But when we lose a job in that way, I want you to look back at the history that you have with that job. Was it a job that you hated, that you dreaded going to every single day? Waking up in the morning and just dreading going to this job every day? Probably. So that is an example of why a tower moment comes in. Because we got ourselves stuck in that cycle of familiarity, for one. Fear, because of course there's the fear of, okay, now I have no money coming in, I got to pay my bills. But we just hated it. We hated it. We hated going to it every day. We dreaded people that we worked with, seeing them. So that is a possible trigger of starting this tower moment. So again, if this is the timeline for us to end that cycle of that job, so that we can be open now to receiving another job, a better job than that one, a job that's going to light our fire, a job that we're going to feel passionate about. It's just that we have to step away from the fear of not getting that job. And that's why we stay in that stuck cycle. You know, that miserable cycle of going every day to a job that we hate. So that is what an example of a tower moment would be. Shake your world up and all of a sudden you're told you lost your job. You lost your job, and it brings you into this place of sadness, of all types of emotions flowing to the surface, feeling like you did something wrong or you weren't good enough for the job. You know, we take it personal in a lot of ways, but we shouldn't take it personal, because again, and I know it's not something that people want to hear because they're the ones going through it and they still have to pay their bills and so forth, but we have to trust that this stuff happens for a reason. And when you go through that tower moment, when you get past that tower moment of ending that cycle, you do begin to start to see things with clear eyes. You start to look at things with more clarity, more knowing, more understanding. And you look back and you say, wow, that really was done for me, not to me. That job made me so miserable. And here I feel so happy now because I let go of a burden of something, and of illusion of something that I felt like I was supposed to do, was supposed to have, you know. It's a time of going within and seeing what it is that we really want. What kind of job do we really want? What is our passion? We have to trust that once we put that out there and we put those thoughts into action, we will be given a job that is a job that we really like, love even. So again, it's just a way of going within to see why we continuously kept ourselves stuck in that place. It's like so many years go by now and it's like, wow, I spent a lot of time in a place that I was miserable in because of fear. And fear is an illusion. We create that with our minds. You know, we get to a place of trusting and believing, amazing things will happen for us. So that's one example. Another example of a possible tower moment coming in is, let's say we ended a relationship or we were dumped. That just shook our world. That just broke our heart. But now I want you to look back on that relationship. Okay? What kind of relationship was it? I bet you it was toxic. I bet you weren't happy in it. You may have had some moments where you felt like you were happy. And then majority of that time in that relationship was just toxic as hell. You know, we were just miserable. It was always fighting. It was always negativity. It was just never being in a place of balance or being happy in it. And we stayed in that cycle. We stayed in that relationship for as long as we stayed in it. And probably would have continued to stay in it if we didn't get shaken up by the tower moment. And after that tower moment hits again, here comes the clarity. Now we start to see, wow, that relationship was horrible. And it doesn't even have to be that relationship. Probably if you went back in history, you may find that you were in similar relationships many times, over and over and over. And a lot of times when we continuously attract those type of relationships or those type of people, it's something usually deeper inside of us that needs to be healed. You know, Maybe in our childhood, we were abandoned or treated like hell, like treated like shit, felt unworthy, not good enough. It was toxic. But growing up, that was what love looked like to us. It was normal to us because that's how we grew up. That's how we seen our parents or other people in our family or people around us in a toxic relationship where there was constant fighting and bickering and, abuse, sexual abuse, addictions. It could be sexual addictions, alcoholic addiction, drug addiction, all of these toxic things that we went through as children that have wounded us. But in our eyes and in our experience, that was what it was supposed to be like. That's what a relationship was supposed to be like. We were made to feel like we were unworthy of true love. So what it turns out to be is dysfunctional love. A love that was shown to us as children growing up that felt normal to us. So we attracted into our lives over and over and over. Different people, but always the same type of person, the same type of situation. So this is a time for us to allow, do not fear, do not resist when these changes, when these situations, I should say, come up to the surface, or when the universe comes in and shakes our world. Allow them to help us, because that's what they're doing. They're helping us get out of a cycle that really has not served us and has kept us stuck. And we've never been able to move forward because we stayed in that area. So the universe really is coming in and helping us to get out of that cycle. We have to end that cycle. And when we end that cycle, again, like I was saying earlier, we gain this brand new awareness, this brand new clarity. Everything seems clear. Everything makes sense. And we can look back at those situations and now understand why we were in those situations. Old programming, limited beliefs, lack, unworthiness, feeling unworthy, abandonment, rejection. All of these things that we've been carrying around with us, all of these negative emotions that we were carrying around with us, which then creates these blocks within our mind, body, and spirit. And every time we go through some type of traumatic experience, we do lose a fragment of our soul. And it can take a lifetime for us to retrieve those fragments. So we do have to come sometimes to a place where now it's being done for us. We can't fear it. We have to allow it to help us so we can gain that clarity and not go back to a cycle that really has stopped us from moving forward. It's so important for us to recognize why all of this is happening. And I did mention in a previous video and also a podcast that a tower moment is dark. It feels terrible. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's not hard. It is hard as hell because we are releasing a part of who we created about ourselves, an illusion of what our lives were supposed to be like or who we were supposed to be. We got attached to that because that's all we knew. So the tower moment really scared the hell out of people because it really does bring you into a dark place. A dark place. A lot of pain, a lot of physical mental and emotional pain. But it doesn't last. It's just there to shake you up so that you can release that old pattern, those old behaviors, the old way of doing things, the old situations that you continuously attract into your life. You'll find that it's really being done for you. You're worthy. You're lovable. You deserve the best in life. That's how we were created. We're divine beings. We're created to be divine beings. We're not supposed to suffer or be miserable or unhappy. Yes, we have to go through experiences because we have to learn lessons from them. But we don't need to be stuck in them, because then we're not learning anything. We're stuck, and we continuously repeat it over and over and over. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, where he continues to relive his life over and over and over and over until he finally understood what was going on and why it was being done. It's similar to that. And although you're going to go through a dark period, it's going to feel like a death. I'm not going to lie to you, because I've been there, done that. And still going through shifts and changes, and not surprised if another one will come up because of this new this full moon in Pisces that's coming up, and this 999 portal. So I know there's still more to come, but I'm ready for it. Because I'm going to tell you, after the first couple of tower moments, I felt so freaking amazing when they were done. I had such a clear knowing and understanding, and it felt amazing. I felt like so much stuff was lifted off of me, like a burden was taken off of me. And every time something else was triggered or I went through something else, I kind of look forward to it. As strange as that may seem, I kind of look forward to it because I love the way that I felt afterwards. I didn't like the way I felt when I was going through it, because it was miserable. It's like gut-wrenching, horrible pain, crying. And some people who wouldn't know what was going on with them can find themselves getting rushed to a hospital, or think that they're losing their mind, or they're having a nervous breakdown, because it's that scary. It's that scary. But once you go through it, I'm telling you, the clarity is amazing. You feel renewed, refreshed, and are so ready to begin your new life, to step into your power, to become that divine creation, that God and that goddess, because that's what we are. We are our pure love. So know that I understand, and I just want you to make you aware of what is going on, why it's going on, and know that after you go through that darkness, there's light, and it's beautiful. I promise you, you will get through it, and you will feel amazing. It's like a rebirth, a death of an old cycle, and a rebirth into a new cycle, into a new way of being. Because now you have this clarity and this knowing of what was really going on with you and why you were in that repetitive cycle. Because you can see it now with total clarity. And it's going to make you see it, know it, and say, wow, I don't want to be in that place ever again. I'm ready to heal and release it all. And that's the whole purpose of our being. Experience, learn, and move forward. The continuation of our soul's evolution. We want to be the best that we can be and live the best life ever. And I'm not going to say we're not going to go through more lessons and more experiences. Of course we will. And we will go through them till the day we die. Like really die. Because that is what we're here to do. We have to go through experiences to learn lessons. But I guarantee you that once you go through this darkness and you gain that clarity, and you have this rebirth. Every choice that you make, and every decision and every experience moving forward, every lesson moving forward, you're going to know exactly what is going on with you, and you're going to get through it quicker, because now you are aware of why it's happening, and you will get through it quicker. So I'm going to end this segment, but I will come on more with more topics to talk about. Again, I'm here to spread awareness, through my own experiences, to help as many people as I can to understand what it is that they're going through. And again, through this 999 portal, these next 9 days, a lot of stuff is going to come up. I have to tell you, today, because I'm so sensitive, super sensitive, I was feeling the collective. I don't know if anybody else went through the same experience, but I was feeling anger. It was intense today. I was so angry. I woke up so heavy. And again, because I'm an intuitive empath, I do feel the energy, the shifts, the vibrations of everyone. And universally, everything, even the shifts and things that are going on with the disasters. I can feel the fear, the pain. I mean, I understand it, and I can recognize it, so I know how to protect myself. But today, you'll have to leave a comment. But today was the angry day. Like, I felt some serious anger. I really had to transmute my energy and block it and get it away from me today. So again, everyone, I am here for you. I'm thinking about you. Know that you are not alone. If you want to reach out to me with some questions, if you want to leave a comment, feel free to do that. You can email me at Reikibyisabella@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Reiki by Isabella. I will place my link of my podcast on the bottom of the screen, and I wanted to make a shout out, give a shout out to my wonderful, talented, amazing son Michael. Today is his 23rd birthday, and I wanted to wish him a happy birthday. I love you, Michael, and I'm so proud of you. My son has just released his new EP. He's a producer in LA, and he loves his music, and his purpose, and what I'm finding what his purpose is to spread awareness and love, unconditional love, through his music. So I will leave a link on the bottom of the screen if you want to go follow him. He's in YouTube and Spotify and so forth, but I'll leave the link on the bottom. Show you love, like and share. I love you all. And again, through this darkness, there will be light. It's just like a butterfly that emerges from a dark cocoon into a beautiful butterfly. Rebirth. Just like a lotus that emerges through murky, dark waters into a beautiful lotus flower. That's us. We're coming out of the darkness and going into the light. It's a rebirth. So embrace that. Don't fear it, because it is going to show you and bring you into your power and put you into a new life, a better life, because you've gone through all of that stuff, and now you know where you don't want to be and where you should be. Okay? So again, reach out if you have any questions or comments, or if there's any type of topics that you would be interested in learning about. I'm here for you, and to help you get through all of this. Have an amazing day. Good night, everyone.